Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 5, right? 5
or 6
of Name in Progress. Remember, you can click on each of our faces to take us to our individual channels. What are you doing?
I was clicking the faces.
Oh. Anyways, welcome to episode 5 of Name in Progress. Another week, another show.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing this week?
Another day, another dollar.
No, I'm doing good. I've got a lighting issue, but other than that, I'm doing fine.
We have a sponsor this week. Who is it again, Dad? Sorry,
we have a sponsor?
But
We have a sponsor.
Oh, no problem. We have this week's sponsor is Michael Richards. He was generous enough to hit the donate button on one of our Podomatic sites, and we want to thank him for that. Every little bit does go straight into the till that pays for the podcast specifically. I do not put any hands on that short of paying our Podomatic bills, so we do thank you for that. Mm-hmm. And, of course, you guys are our sponsors, so we're brought to you by lovely viewers like yourselves.
Yeah.
Isn't Michael Richards the guy that was Frasier on not Frasier. Wow. Seinfeld. That guy. Wasn't he Michael Richards? Wasn't it the neighbor?
The original Kramer?
Kramer, that's it. Yeah.
Well, that would be interesting.
That'd be awesome. If we
well, yeah, Michael Richards in Google immediately procs Kramer.
Yeah, so, I thought so.
That'd be awesome if it was him. I doubt it is, but
it could be.
Kramer,
do movie phone. Do movie phone.
That was a good episode.
That was an
Hello,
awesome
and thank you for calling Movie Phone. Why don't you say the name of the movie you want to see?
Press 1. Beep.
Anyways, housekeeping. Don't got much housekeeping for this week. Haven't got any emails or anything.
We only had a total of 100 views between the two videos. I don't know what we're doing on Podomatic, but
Podomatic, we've got about 50 or 60 subscribers. There's about 50 or 60 RSS feeds that update between episodes when we go in between episodes. As far as daily downloads, we see about 10, 15, 20 a week. It varies quite a bit. Well, I hope my shit didn't get all choppy. No,
you're fine.
Choppy.
Well, I think with having the video, people are probably not downloading as much since we do post this on other places for the YouTube thing.
Yeah.
Well, we do. We have the YouTube.
Hold on, is this name in progress or fucking Sith Talk? What the fuck?
Yeah, you don't have your shirt. Where's your shirt?
Well, when you buy a shirt for Name in Progress, we'll all wear that.
Yeah, right.
Lanyard was nice enough to,
That's right. I was able to get this. And neither one of us have a Whitesword shirt, so or a pin.
Some lazy bastard at Whitesword TV just hasn't mailed me a double X.
Or a pin.
I'll mail you a button. I got a couple left. I was going to buy some more and give them away.
You could wear the button on your hat. Dad.
Didn't I give you a button, Lanyard?
No, you did not. And I was just over there last weekend.
I thought I gave you a button when you came out.
You didn't give me a button. No, you gave me I gave you
the green. Oh, I didn't give you a button.
You gave me a green screen, a keyboard.
Anyway, so episode 5, Name in Progress, going to have a lot to talk about. Why Lanyard stuffs his face.
Dinner time.
But
what's the question?
Well, why is Lanyard eating? Let's go to Dat. What have you been playing this weekend, Dat? What have you been doing?
Oh, dude. Actually, I've been doing a lot. I did a live stream after our last episode. I did a Sunday night live stream for
you're doing
Sports
a bunch of games for the month or something, right?
Yeah, I'm still doing the 30 days
marathon,
30 days of game challenge, which I will admit is a pain in the ass.
I got to 17 and everything just became too sidetracking.
Well, it's one of those things where I know I'm not seeing a lot of traffic to begin with, but it's getting harder to pick which games. Some of them are lagging the system more than others. So I got the Advair Media card, and so far I haven't been able to live stream with any reasonable quality, which is pissing me off. I did do a little bit of streaming with Just XSplit using Shatter, and that gameplay went really well. Got to stream that for about 4 hours the other night after posting the Let's Play video for the challenge. What else have I played? I played a lot of Battlefield while testing out the Advair Media card. I did 4 hours of Star Wars, which was before I got the 2 screens back, and the Star Wars went really well. I just felt really bad because the nephew had to let me know when people were talking to me in the chat, because without the second screen, there was no way to know what was going on.
Well, you have an iPhone. Why don't you just load up the Twitch TV app and use the chat feature?
I have it on my phone. I just didn't know you could use the chat feature. If that was the case,
gotcha,
I'd plug one of my fucking screens, because that's a pain in my ass.
Yeah.
I did, Joe, and get the keyboard that Lanyard got from you. So Lanyard and I are both rocking the G510 now.
Shh, fuck that keyboard.
It's actually really awesome. It's what's helping me narrow down my problems with my live stream. As far as monitoring CPU usage and RAM usage.
Yeah. Well, me and Kevin swapped out the keyboards. As you can see, he's got mine and I've got his old one now. And I
love the G15.
I don't mind either way. I do like the fact that I can go to the blue background on my letters, because now it matches my Belkin gamepad and my Naga mouse. They're both blue, and I can't. I can change the colors on the Belkin. I can't change them on the mouse. But and the only thing that I found was on the 510, it does have more G keys, which is great because I can always focus them. Again, I don't know what they do, because every time I switch a game, it switches the keys, and I don't know what they do. So,
well, you can download the G software and map them out yourself.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've got that. I did that, and as soon as I plugged it in, I updated the software for it. But the problem is it doesn't indicate what it is on the keyboard. So
that was the one thing I didn't think the button
Tanks.
response was very good for swapping stuff out.
Right, so I switched to World of Tanks, and it switches it because that's something that's already programmed for this keyboard, which, by the way, it's not programmed for your G15.
Yeah, it pops up.
Oh, does it? Must be have updated software then. But anyways, so it tells me what buttons are, but then, of course, once that screen goes away and I'm playing my game, I don't know what they are. I can't remember what the fucking buttons are. So again, I'm going affirmative. No, damn it. Which one do I want? So anyways, but the only thing I don't like is it doesn't have USB in the back. USB hookups like the 15 does. So, anyways, go ahead, Dan.
But let's see. I streamed Bad Rats as well as recording a video for that, which for a game that's basically like the embodiment of an Itchy and Scratchy cartoon, was a ton of fun. Basic puzzles. You match up the items that are given in your little toolbox with what you need to make the whatever chain reaction needs to happen to kill a cat. So it's like having a ball roll down and hit a power button to turn a microwave on, or knock over a chainsaw into the thing, or drop a safe on it. And I think I got through about 8 or 9 puzzles of that. And that was a lot of fun to play. It was horribly addictive because it's one of those like evil pleasure type of games.
Yeah.
So you start to play and you're like, oh, this is so horrible. Why am I doing this? And then you get into it and you're like, oh, but it's so funny. And the rats are doing a little party at the end every time you squish another one. And the game, varies as far as difficulty, with changing out, like, you don't have to use the exact mapping that they want. You can change it so that you're using a slightly different formula as far as the rats and the boards or whatever parts that they give you. And it's very physics-based, so moving a rat one direction or another a couple of centimeters or a couple of inches actually has a greater impact on how everything turns out overall, even down to the timing. But it is a ton of fun. I actually loved playing that game. I got real into the stream that I did for Shatter. If you guys haven't seen the Shatter video, check it out on my page. It's basically like a Brick Breaker style game, but it changes the format a little bit because you have the ability to attract the projectile back to yourself or push it away from yourself, and it just continually bounces off the walls and just destroys all kinds of environments. And you have a power system to where, as you're shattering the bulbs all over the place, it gathers power, and you suck it all in. You're able to use this like insane Gatling gun style thing, and it just destroyed all the bricks at once. What else did I play? I did a video for Cogs, another video for Cogs for the 30-day challenge, because I know that was one of the ones that Lanyard had actually liked the look of. Cogs Basic Puzzler again. using gears, steam pipes to basically make the machines work. So I did a little bit of that. I think I even might have streamed a little bit of it. What else was there? I know there was another one. I went ahead and did a video, as much as I hated the idea, for Raycatcher, because Raycatcher is another one of my music-based games. However, I don't know if the video came out too good. I was having a lot of trouble. I've had a little bit of trouble recording even locally since I put in that Adveer card, so I'm getting a little pissed off with that. But that one is a terrible fucking game. No one should ever buy, even for $5, or if it goes 75% off on Steam again. Never ever buy it, because it's supposed to be able to use your music, which is why I bought it, but it doesn't. You have like 4 track lists, and some of it's like nerdcore, cool kind of shit, but I'm still not really all that happy with it.
Yeah.
See, what else was there? There was another game I tried to play a little bit of. Let's see here. There it is. Puzzle Dimension. Puzzle Dimension, rolling ball puzzle game, but each puzzle changes slightly. And I actually, I had posted that video yesterday or today. Unfortunately, the quality was not anywhere near what I'm used to for my videos, so I had to apologize about that, because I had some weird issue where the audio wasn't always coming through.
Yeah.
And really pissed me off, because I like to do the audio while I'm playing the game. You know, what I might have to do in the future is record the audio on a separate track and then meld them back together and hope I get the timing right. Because it was a ton of fun to play, because you either rolled forward or jumped. It wasn't, there wasn't much more than that, but you had to decide how to use it. I think I played through about 3 maps there to give everybody a feel for it on the challenge. But it's a lot of fun to do the challenge videos. The hardest thing for me is picking out games.
Yeah.
To give you an idea, Kev, I've got a terabyte hard drive in the system right now, and I think I've got about 150 gigs left.
Wow. That's
how many games and software items I have on my computer.
For me, a lot of that was just finding games that I wanted to play.
Yeah.
And games that were just kind of fun. I mean, as much as we buy those Humble Bumble packs and all that stuff, a lot of times those games turn out to be shit.
or the controls are so incredibly wonky. Like, what was it? And Yet It Moves.
Yeah.
That game was okay, but it was one of those things where you had to turn the entire screen 360 to adjust gravity so that your character can make it around. And you'll get into a spot where you're just like, what the fuck am I supposed to fucking do?
Yeah.
And just freak the hell out. And that's another thing. I had there was a new indie bundle that came through where I was able to purchase some new games, which I gave a couple away on Steam gifts the other day, because I keep some for myself. I give some away that I don't want. I actually have a couple of Dattokar keys that if anybody is listening, they are welcome to hit me up on my channel for, or via email for the show. There's some indie games. There's Live a Link for Dattokar, The Cat Lady, which is on Dattokar, and a game called Crunch. All of them fairly basic games, but they're on Dattokar, and I've got keys for them, so if they want them, they can message me however they wish to. Twitter's easiest.
Yeah. As much as I love the indie area, but I think a lot of these indie guys, they put out a game that it looks good. Like, there's a game I did for one of my Madness Marathon where it was the marble game, and it just was not fun. It was stupid. You're a marble, but I was quite surprised. So I'm like, this is such a dumb game. But there was a couple people who actually really liked the idea of the game and were playing it. But I think that's one of the hardest things is doing a thing like that, is finding something that's fun for you to play, because a lot of it is you're the one that's having to play it.
Yeah.
And also go through it. So that's the hardest thing, is trying something that's fun and that you enjoy and that's also fun to watch.
And I mean, between streaming and putting up the 30-day videos, I'm actually getting a good response. I've got 10 subscribers right now, which I know isn't a lot, but I've got 10 subscribers.
Better than zero.
On my Twitch channel. I've had people adding me on Twitter, asking if that's the best way to keep up with my video posts, which really is. And it's adding to people that are trying to connect to me on Twitter. Some people...
And all of our Twitter names are under us, too. least on my channel. I don't.
Yeah, Kevin, make sure to put the annotations on.
I don't know how to, I don't know how to
of
do
them.
that. I've tried doing that in a couple things, and it never turns out right. So.
And I tried playing the Slenderman 8 pages, and what the fuck?
I fucking love Slenderman.
Dude, I was gonna like stream it because I didn't know how long it was.
Yeah, it's a short
or how short it was. Well, it ends up being very short because you're running around the fucking dark with a flashlight. You can't see shit, and you're supposed to find 8 pages to tell you how to just protect yourself from the Slenderman. Well, it doesn't fucking matter because I was all over the fucking map, couldn't find shit, and then all of a sudden my screen went wonky, and I'm going, what the fuck's going around? I turn around, here's this long slurpy yard fucking retard.
Slenderman. I love Slenderman.
And like the entire time, there's barely any music. But when there is music, it's at the most inopportune times. It's when Slenderman's nowhere near you, so you're literally going, where the fuck am I? Where the fuck am I? Where's he at? Where's he at?
It's meant to fuck with you. Did you not even pick up? Because as soon as you pick up one page, the music, boom, boom, starts right up and stays there.
I didn't even know I picked up pages. I saw a page that said, leave me the fuck alone. I went outside to the big gas cylinders, and there's like, quit following me. And I'm like, okay, now where do I go next?
Are you picking them up, or did you just look at them?
I looked at them.
You're supposed to pick them up.
How the fuck do you pick shit up?
Right click, like a mouse. You click on it like a mouse.
Bullshit. I tried doing that. Slenderman was just eat my soul.
You got to play Slenderman Elementary. That's a good one because it's inside of a school.
Oh, yeah.
You pick up teddy bears.
What? Oh, you're on crack now.
I fucking love Slenderman. I still have not done that video of my Slenderman. What was it that I bought?
And the new one.
Yeah.
The Arrival.
Yeah, the Arrival beta. I need to do that. I have just been so busy, but we'll get into that when it's mine.
But no, I mean I have been I went and I renewed my Star Wars main account for another 6 months, so that's up to date. The wife actually asked me when we were at Target today, honey, do you mind if I renew my account? I said, I don't give a shit. Renew your account if you want to play, because that's what it is. I mean, you get in, you get out. If you do, you don't. You know, whatever. I don't have a problem with it. It's your game. And so she got in. She's apparently going to go back into Star Wars, which makes me happy. Did find out when I logged in that apparently I'm the guild master now.
Of which guild?
Of Wookiees.
You were the guild master.
You were the guild master.
No, Pseudo was.
Oh.
But Pseudo had been gone for so long that it defaulted to our most active account holder.
I wonder if that
was Kiwi, and then Kiwi gave it to me because he didn't want to own it.
Yeah.
Did you see that Con Artist posted his little sign on the end of his YouTube video? He posted Balderdash Groundskeeper. Because nobody's. Although
but,
I am thinking
about
resubbing, I'm just gonna have to make sure I can afford to do it.
Well, if they just give me a fucking way to gift you a code, it would be that much easier for me. You know what? I'll go on tonight and see if I can find a way to buy a code.
You do owe me about 4 months.
And I keep trying to pay it back, and I'm like, well, how do I do it? I mean, I guess I could just go to the store, but
Lanyard could get a PayPal account, and he could just PayPal her money.
PayPal.
Yeah.
But that'd be too simple, and Lanyard hates PayPal.
I hate PayPal.
Lanyard,
I can't remember my fucking
Lanyard hates
password
technology.
for
I think he does too.
I hate tech. Yes, I hate tech. That's right. I'm a steampunk guy.
Steam is ran with steam. Just pouring hot water in there.
His microwave runs on running chipmunks.
Yeah, he's sitting there cranking it.
I don't even go that. I don't even go that far. That's cruel and unusual punishment for chipmunks. What I do is I just drop a little bit of uranium in the water and just let it,
Let it steam up from that.
I picked up a new audiobook. I finally finished my newest audiobook.
Yeah.
I told you guys that I bought the last book in the Zombie Fallout series.
Mm-hmm.
Was it that? No.
Yep, that was it.
It was Zombie Fallout.
No, you said it was the zombies. No, it was the other one with the little bugs that grow inside your body.
It wasn't
the little alien triangle things.
Hold on. I'll fucking find it here in a minute. But nonetheless, I finished that book, and I was actually delighted. The book prior to it, it was Zombie Fallout 6 Till Death Do Us Part. After I had found out, what I did was that when I downloaded it to the phone, okay, it downloaded wrong and started playing part 2 before it started playing part 1.
So you were confused.
So I stopped it and went back to part 1, started playing it, and it finally fell in line. My only complaint about it is the same complaint basically I had about book 3.5. At the very end of the book, Mike's wife apparently convinced him that he should do a section where he vents what happened when he was in the coma in book 2, I think 1 or 2, I think it was, and he was in like a 3-day coma where he's just nothing. Well, he talks about his traverse on the astral plane and what was going through his mind and what he was watching, and it was another tie-in to the storyline that by the end of the story you didn't need anymore.
So like it was a filler. Like he needed more words.
But it was an afterword.
Like it, Oh, okay. So like something like his what do they call him? His editor said we need more words. Put something else in here. And
if you don't put at least one more chapter in, this is going to be more like a novella than a novel.
Right.
I don't think you can do this type of deal. Because that is some publishers
He put it at the end of the book.
My niece was something like 15 pages short on her book to be considered a true novel. And the publisher said, listen, your book is a novella at this point. You need at least 10 to 15 more pages for it to be the standard size of a novel.
Yeah.
And
so she
had actually debated it. She had put it on Facebook. She said, losing my mind. I really want to go to publishing, but I wanted this to be a novel, not a novella.
Yeah.
And she said, so should I don't know if I should drag out the story or just start priming book 2 and say, best to leave it the way it is. And she did. She's actually had over 1,000 downloads on Kindle.
Cool.
Granted, they're free books, but anything that free leads to sells eventually.
Yep. Sure enough.
And that's Melinda Hellard for anybody who's listening. You look up Melinda Hellard's book on Amazon, and you'll find her little Kindle free download if you guys want that.
Cool.
My wife says it's a really fantastic book. I have no clue because it's in a genre that I don't read.
Yeah, it happens. I have I have authors following me on Twitter, which is great, cool. I follow them back.
What, is one of them named Sue?
No.
Hi, Sue.
No, it's not. And actually, one of the guys, I want to read his books, but I don't have time to read. We don't sit around and just read. So most of our stuff is audio. So I've been bugging him about when is your audio coming out? When is your audiobook coming out? Well, the problem is now that I'm following him, and then of course, he actually responds to people's Twitter tweets and stuff like that, which is cool. But then now I've got like 4 other authors, startup authors that are following me and pushing their book, and I'm like, if it comes out in audio, I'll listen to it. But if you don't have it in audio, whatever. So
I know. What did I do? I was goofing on Twitter and I was looking at a trending or some shit like that, and Will Wheaton had said something, and I was just looking at see what people were responding back to him, and some woman responded, "Will you read my book? It's about vampires and love." And then there was then I went to her thing just to see what the hell this was about for some reason, and it's like her arguing with people. And I was like, hey, you give me your book for free, I'll read it, and maybe I'll do a review of it. And she's like, okay. She sent it to me. I never read it.
Wow.
It's like you. I don't got time. I'm at work. I got things to do.
Right. If
you give me an audiobook, I'll listen to your audiobook while I'm doing my other stuff.
While I'm at work, because that's what I drive truck. So, that's the perfect time for me to listen to books. And I love listening to audiobooks while I drive. It makes the time go by so much faster. The days just go bing, bing. And especially if it's a long series, then I'm really looking forward to, believe it or not, getting to work tomorrow because I want to hear the rest of the story.
And I'll stop. I'll be like, oh, I got to save this for tomorrow.
Right, because I'll get to the end. The only time I'll stop when I get to the yard and I'm shutting down the truck and I'm ready to shut down. If it's in the middle of a little bit of not a chapter, but I want to finish up to find a key spot where it's good for me to shut down. Then I'll listen to it for a few minutes until it's okay, this is good, shut it down, and then I'll come, and I'm actually looking forward to going to work the next day, and it really upsets me when I get to the end of the book, and I'm like, now what do I got? I have to go back.
I know, it's so disappointing when you just find a book that has, you're waiting for more of the series.
Well, that was the R.A. Salvatore's Demon Wars, was just amazing for me, and it was great, too, because there's 7 books, and it took up, I listened to it from start to finish, and it takes up, because I listen to it nonstop, and I'm in the truck for a total of 8 hours, so I can go through several just normal novels in one drive, and it's You know, so but this is great. 7 books. It takes me a week and a half to get through it. There's another one by Elizabeth Moon called The Serrano Legacy. That's a whole bunch of books, and it takes me 2 weeks to get through that one. It's really great. I love it. So if the authors have audiobooks coming out, I'm more than happy to listen to them, unless they're romance. I'm not real big on like conspiracy theory shit or political garbage or
what was that website where we found Sigler? Because other people post their free audiobooks up there too.
It was scottsigler.com was where you could find all their audiobooks that were free. And Sigler had its patiobooks.com.
Yeah.
I want to say it was. And that site was the one that allowed you basically to check out all the authors that were giving away their books basically for free.
Which sucks because
I had the option to donate.
I came across some really good audiobooks, but terrible, terrible, terrible readers.
Yeah.
Like, I would read the description and be like, oh my god, this book sounds amazing. And it's like, it's me and my wife. And it's like, this is us walking down the street.
Yeah. Well, see, that can be a problem when especially if you don't have the ability to preview the book. It's a great book, and then you have some crappy reader. For instance, I go through graphic. I know we used to have Audible, but I go through graphic audio because they do theirs in a cast. They have a cast of people. They all have
a lot of the Star Trek books.
They have an amazing voice talent, so they can unless you listen to the books constantly, you really can't tell who's doing it because they're so good at changing their voice. But they have sound effects. They have music, and they make it as their tagline, a movie in your mind. And I really enjoy that. I listened to a couple of Brandon Sanderson books and a couple of Brent Weeks books. And one of my authors, and I can't remember, I get the two mixed up all the time, and people that read books are going to kick my ass, but I always get Brandon Sanderson and Brent Weeks books mixed up.
Never heard of them.
Well, they're great. You really need to see if you can pick up some Brandon Sanderson or Brent Weeks.
John Grisham right now.
Or Brent Weeks. They're very good. They're very great at world building. But anyway, so I was waiting for the next book to come out on graphic audio, and of course they've got 30 or 40 in their troupe, and they're doing books all the time, and they got a huge genre, so I can understand it takes a little while to get a book out.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting, and I see that the book is ready to go on Audible, and I was like, fuck it, I can't wait, I really want to know what's going on. So, and of course now the difference between graphic audio and Audible is a guy reading the book. Graphic audio takes the book and makes it into, puts a little more storyline, changes it a bit so it's like a movie, okay? So you change up a couple, not changing the book, but maybe throwing an extra line in here, or this part is narrator, whereas this is actual being said. So I got the audiobook, and it was this surfer dude reading it. And when I say surfer dude, I mean it's like, so as I'm going to the store, this is what's gonna happen, and it's like, I actually
gets approved from the author.
I got on the forums there.
You're cutting in and out so bad that I can't even hear you.
I'm sorry. I got in on the forums there, and I actually wanted my money back, and apparently so did a lot of other people. They were just really upset about this guy's reading. Don't ever put this guy on this guy, and this guy sucks. Anyways, so that's the trick. If you can find an audiobook and get at least a listen to it, say, okay, this author's going to be doing okay. And I don't like girls reading the book, because when they try to do a man's voice, it just sounds stupid. Granted, the guy doing a girl's voice sounds dumb too, but
oh no! Scott does really.
I did listen to Scott. I listened to that first book you gave me, and that was pretty good. I really didn't get into the story as much, but yeah.
I don't know. I guess I just never really thought about when they do the different voices if it sounds good or not. Like the guy who does all the Harry Potter books, I think he does all the voices great.
Yeah.
For like the female characters and stuff. Like when he does Hermione and all the teachers and stuff. That's how I picture them when we talk. But when I go back and actually reread the books.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I don't know. The only other thing I did this week, I did do a new Hate Machine, because I'm trying to get those posting weekly. This week I did, you remember, Lanyard actually posted a few things. It's basically the idea that cartoons have been turned into an educational purpose, which I hate. It's okay to have education in entertainment. That's what PBS is for. Everything else should be perfectly fine for burning the shit out of our minds. I don't see any mental growth when I sit down and watch, King of the Nerds. I don't see any mental growth.
There was always
That's my point. They're supposed to be fucking mindless. They're supposed to be fun, take you out of the world. They're not supposed to be.
We got that shit when we were kids. Fucking G.I. Joe went from saving the world to recycling the world to help, and Captain Planet.
Listen, G.I. Joe, they took 5 seconds at the end of the show going, all right, kids, don't booze up. And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Ho-yo.
I remember when they went to Saving the Planet and were basically...
that was a whole other show, though.
No, it was G.I. Joe, man.
No, Captain Planet was not G.I. Joe.
I'm not saying Captain Planet's G.I. Joe. I'm saying that I remember G.I. Joe going to the version of let's save the planet type stuff, not them fighting bad guys.
2 things. One, cartoons, even when we were kids, Bugs Bunny and whatnot, always had some type of a moral. Kids never got it. But it was supposed to have some type of...
I never got morals from it. Don't strap a rocket pack to your ass.
Exactly. There you go. Never give up. Never... No, that's the wrong movie. And the other thing, when you said G.I. Joe, I never watched G.I. Joe. Never, ever did I watch G.I. Joe. But you said that it went from G.I. Joe Save the World to G.I. Joe Recycle the World. That's kind of like... I went back and watched a few of my favorite show when I was a kid, which was MacGyver. And I started watching some episodes, and I was like, wait a minute, I don't remember him being an enviro nut. And apparently, he always was an enviro nut. I just never got it when I was a kid. I just wanted to know what kind of tricky things he was going to do with duct tape and a pencil.
One of my favorite MacGyver things is he was escaping. And he had a map, and his hot air balloon cut a hole, and he used the map to get away. I don't know why. I always remember that, just him flying away. He's like, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. I remember one that what was it? You said something about a map, and it threw me off. Oh, he made a propelled hang glider, a parachute. What are those things called with a fan on your back? And that one was,
I know how to look for prints because of MacGyver on stuff like for safes and stuff. I remember where he took like the shavings of a pencil to break into a safe so he could find out what the combination was.
Graphite.
I got that from MacGyver.
There was an episode where he stopped a sulfuric acid waste breakage with candy bars in an episode.
That surprised me.
It's
MacGyver,
cocoa
man.
Alkali.
It's MacGyver, man. Duct tape and a paper clip, and he can
save the world. I'm surprised they haven't remade that show.
Oh, yeah, it wouldn't be as good without him, though.
No, it'd be all technology like. Well, let me just scan it with my stuff.
Right.
So if that's your week,
just pull up your Google.
That's it, man. That's it. I've been busy. Like I said, I do want to apologize to anyone who's been trying to check out my live stream. I've been doing a lot of test video, trying to find the right combination.
Just follow him on Twitter, and you'll see the 1,000 fucking messages that go out every 5 seconds.
What did I say?
I'm on live stream. I'm on live stream. I'm on live stream. I'm on live stream. I'm like, Jesus Christ, we understand.
Well,
what did I tell you,
oddly
Dad?
enough, it's not my Twitch channel that sends it out. It's XSplit.
I know.
And it kind of pisses me off, but it's one of the many ways I signed into it. But if I can get the right combination, or if somebody who's a live streamer catches this, it's like, hey, here's what you're fucking up. Please let me know, because I'm about to invest another $350 or so.
Stop investing in money and start watching videos on tutorials on how to make it better.
Why don't you send me a couple of those?
Find one that makes sense.
No, you're the one that's buying the stuff.
I've spent 3 fucking days. I installed this fucking thing. I've been trying to watch videos. I've been trying to check this shit out, and no one has a video that conquers.
Maybe you should just stream. Do you see me streaming? Oh, because I suck. My shit sucks.
It's because you're running a dual-core piece of shit processor.
I love my piece of shit processor. And my G15 keyboard.
So am I, and I have no problems.
Okay, Lanyard.
Yeah.
How's your week?
Well, let's see. What did I do? I started out going back to APB. And I was like, damn it, I'm going to fucking figure this game out. And for a little bit, I was doing okay. I got a guy... I was giving him all sorts of fucking, just raging on chat, and I was on my.
Not you.
Yeah, I was.
Never.
I was on my criminal, and I was just raging because it was just like, you know, it's one guy against 4 fucking enforcers, and there's no way in hell I'm gonna be able to do this. So I go in and I try, and I get killed. And I go in and try, and I get killed. And I'm like, fuck this shit. So I'm pissed, and I'm after I lose the mission, I'm ramming their fucking car with my big old truck. And of course, it's not doing anything to them because we're not, you know, against each other now. And they're giving me all sorts of hell. And, you know, I was giving it right back. I was like, well, fuck, man, what are you supposed to, you know, I'm a 1 person versus 4 fucking people. I can't fucking shoot anybody. I know you guys are using them fucking hacks. And, they're, you know, and then of course they come up and say, do you understand that if you hit B, you'll ask for backup? I'm like, yeah, that big B that I keep jamming on, and I'm getting no fucking backup. I'm getting nobody to join my little group and try to take these guys on. So I'm like, you know, what do I do? I just say fuck it, and I just wait for the timer to run out, and I lose, and I get my little bit of change for doing a mission. And finally, one of the guys whispered to me that wasn't as much of a prick, and he said, "Hey, bud," he says, "Hey, bud, listen." He goes, "Do you have an enforcer?" He's like, "I'll help you out on the enforcer side, and maybe that'll transfer it over to the criminal side." I was like, "Yeah, I got an enforcer." So I jumped on Squeeza. And actually had pretty good. I mean, I stayed back a little bit and was able to, you know, let the other guys run into the middle, and I kind of sniped a little bit. And I was pretty good. I was doing okay. But I was with a group all the time. I was with like 4 fucking pros that are fucking playing this game.
Yeah.
And they all said, no, we don't use the fucking hack bullshit. That's bullshit. We don't use any of that hack stuff. But they're just really good at shooters. And so then I was like, cool. So I'm gonna go in. So I jumped on my enforcer, on my criminal again here at the beginning of the week, and was trying to play. And I'm just getting fucking raped. And I'm asking for groups, and I get a group together, and then 3 drop out before we even start. So and now here it is, me versus 5 of them again. And I spent more time in the respawn screen than I did the entire time I was ever alive to shoot anything. And I just fuck it, and I uninstalled it.
Yeah.
I was like,
I've gotten like that, man.
Screw it, man. I'm like, I can't, because if I have it, excuse me, if I have it installed, I will try to go back and play it again, and I'll just get fucking so aggravated that I'm not getting anything done, and I'm not getting any better because I'm too aggravated to sit back and, okay, what do I need to do? You know, I just, fuck it, I'm not going to play this game. And it's not the game's fault, it's my fault. I cannot fucking get a shooter down at all, you know, and
I think it's the game that allowed that you have to have a hack to play the fucking game.
Yeah, I don't think you have to have a hack. There's just a lot of people that have the hack, and they don't really enforce that.
But it's so many that it's at the point where you're required to have that.
Right, and there are some other things. It's an over-the-shoulder shooter, so it's not a first-person shooter. So when you're aiming the gun in a first-person shooter, you're looking from the camera straight down the gun into the sight and into what you're trying to shoot, so that you know if anything's in your way, you need to move. But with the over-the-shoulder thing, I'll be up against a wall, crouch down, zoom in, and then turn my, tilt out to where my sight is pinned on the guy, pull the trigger, I'm blowing a hole in the wall right in front of me, because my character is not out far enough. But then if I move out far enough, I get fucking shot. So yeah, I just removed it. Now, I love the fucking concept of the game. I really do. I love the whole concept of the game is fucking really cool. And again, I can't say enough about how much the customization is just. There's not a game. I haven't played one. I have not played a game yet that comes even close to the amount of customization that you can do on this game. And it just really makes your character stand out and be unique.
Not even with Secret World?
No, not even with Secret World. I mean, there is so much. I mean, I think I've said it before, but not only can you customize the shit out of your character, with tattoos and everything else, but you can make your own fucking tattoos and put them on your body. I mean, you can't do that with any other game. You can customize the shit out of your car and put your own decals on it. The other day I found out that when you make a decal, I made a decal that had my name. It said Lanyard with a Y really big, and it was in a couple circles, and it was really kind of cool. And I had it on the back of my ball cap as like a tag, right? But I found out that if I buy a spray painter, and when I go to do these missions where you have to tag the wall, you can actually set it up to where when you tag your icon. So it actually paints your icon on the wall, and everybody sees your tag. So it's not like just you see it on it's not on client. I mean, it's on the server. So I mean, when you spray paint it, people see your tag. I'm like, fucking awesome, you know.
That's cool.
And you know, you can customize the shit out of your car. I mean, I had you know, I didn't have a lot of things unlocked as far as fonts and some different designs and some different patterns that you could use to make things with. But you know, I made Lanyard's car all black with a really cool pearl metallic. You know, so when it turned the corner, it would different shine. It was really cool. And of course, I put one of the symbols that we chose for Name in Progress on the hood of the car, which was really fucking cool. Put it on my shirt, made it look like a superhero's car, and but then I also was able to put Lanyard on the license plate, which that's fucking cool.
And it's the little things like that that make a game great.
Yeah, and I mean, every time I got in my car, it was my iTunes music, right?
Yeah.
Which is cool, right? I mean, it cycles through my iTunes music, which is great, but I can actually click a little box in the settings to make it where the sound of my car goes to a certain distance, so everybody that runs by my car is also hearing my music. Everybody that rides in my car has to listen to my fucking music. If I'm riding in their car, I gotta listen to their shit music, you know, whatever. I mean, that's really fucking cool. It goes even a step further than that. You can go into the town and go to a music maker and make your own music. Like if you're if you're a DJ guy that, you know, mixes music, you can do that. I'm like, and then you can sell that music on the auction house so that somebody else can listen to your tune. I mean, it's really cool the way they cut. I mean, it's full out. I don't think there'll ever be another game that's got that much customization unless I can make the money enough to fucking make one. But I had to uninstall it because I just absolutely fucking suck at it.
And it sucks that you just can't enjoy the other stuff of it besides actually playing the game.
Well, I mean,
okay, so it's like with other games where you don't have to play the main game. You can just goof off in the other stuff and do it.
And I could have done that on my criminal. I could have just went ahead and been a petty thief, which I was actually making pretty good money as a petty thief. I'm slow, not near as fast as making money doing the missions. But you know, so you know, busting windows, stealing stuff, hawking it, you know, stealing cars. I could make money doing that, and it was fun. But you know, it's still not as cool as doing a mission, you know. So I got rid of that, and then I was like, well, what other games have I not tried? And the one that popped up was Terra, and I was like, it's downloaded for free. What the fuck? So I downloaded Terra, and I was only allowed to make 2 characters because it's free to play. So of course I made Lanyard and Suiza, and I jumped on Lanyard and started playing. And of course their default settings are not what I use at all. You know, it's WASD to run or arrow keys to run, and then of course they have a setup hotkeys just like most of the other hotkey games with, you know, 1 2 3 4 ASD F1 F2. But you know, trying to run the keyboard and that I gotta run my gamepad or it won't work. So I had to go through and spent the first probably hour of my game resetting everything so that I could, you know, do this game the way I play. And so I was able actually to set it up to where I can run with the mouse by just changing the forward key to my right click. So that works. And I mean, it was okay, but it totally looks outdated. I mean, compared to some of the other games I'm playing, it looks like the graphics are a little outdated. It's a fun game, but nothing that I think I'll put a lot of effort into. I played that. I have not done any tanks this week.
Oh wow!
I'm probably gonna
I've been playing tanks.
I could probably do that this weekend. And then let's see, is there anything else? I think that's pretty much it. I went back and redid my Elder Scrolls Online sign up for beta, because apparently the first time I did it, remember I was saying I'd click on it and it wouldn't do anything.
Right.
So I went back again and said, well, maybe I just didn't do it right, and I went through and did everything the exact same way, hit click, and it says, you are signed up for beta. I'm like, why didn't it work the first time? So needless to say, that was only yesterday that I did that, so I'm probably not going to get in the first, second, or third batch of invites, but So, and then of course I also found out that there's that the Game of Thrones game is like in beta or something like that, so I'm going to check that out. But that's pretty much it. That's all I've done this week. Kevin?
I've been playing a lot of tanks. I'm really enjoying the game. I like the fact that it's a very just kind of kick back, drive around, blow some shit up, have some fun. I love the sneakiness of it, of playing it. But that and just tons of Diablo 3. I don't know what. I just got this back into it. I just have been farming like crazy, trying to go through on the last setting. I just hit level 61, whatever it is. You prestige one level, and like there's 100 Paragon levels after that. So it's like 99 more to go. Then I'm gonna work on another character, but really just kind of mixing between that and a little WoW here and there. But mostly I've kind of been getting into taking pictures lately. So I've been a lot of my time reading and watching videos on photography and stuff. And I went out and bought a camera. It's not the best camera in the world, but you know it works for what I started out with and doing stuff like that. And that's really been just taking up a lot of time and working a lot more. And of course, keep playing my fucking iPhone games. I can't help it at work. I mean, not at work. I would never do that at work because we're not supposed to do that at work. Sorry.
It's all right. No one at your work listens to this podcast.
You would be surprised.
I'm scared.
But yeah, playing some WoW, playing a little this and that, and you know, I got fucking. I'm like you, Lanyard. I'm at that point right now where I have Guild Wars 2 installed, and every time I load it up, I get in. I'm just like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not playing this. Why don't I play this? It's so frustrating because it's like I like the game. I think the game is great, but then there's those things that when I start thinking about, I was like, no, this fucking game sucks. I'm gonna install it right now. It's just so frustrating because I wanted it to be such a great game, but I just cannot. I haven't even got past. I have not got a character to level 10 in that game. That's how sidetracked I get into it, I guess, or just get annoyed with the game in general. Yeah. But yeah, just going through my Steed games, looking for stuff to play here and there, but really just kind of sticking with tanks and Diablo the last couple days a lot. And just really enjoying tanks on how simple and fun it is. If you've thought about playing tanks and just thought to just go download it, check it out. It is actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, and the best part about it is it's all one server. So if you see, and we all have, believe it or not, we've all got this name, the name above our heads or down below our, you know, somehow add us to your friends list. Just search on friends, find us, add us. I do have a, what do they call it, a clan. I'll be more than happy to send you an invite. Doesn't really do anything other than we can get together and
you don't get perks or anything like that.
They have an online turn-based game for clans, whatever. I'm not big on that type of stuff, but it's kind of cool. You can throw, you can join the clan and have a little clan name above your head and an icon that I stole from another game and put on the tank, and then it's cool too because we can run together and shoot stuff.
And you know what? And I like the fact that a lot of the free to play games I have come across where you have to pay to get to the next level. With that game, it's really not about that. It really is. You can unlock everything. It might take a little longer, but it actually goes pretty fast because, like, I think it was last week they had a 5 times thing going on. And you know, you don't even think about it because the thing I think the greatest thing about the game, okay, you're dead, your turn's over, you just go back to the garage, you start playing another game, and your game is still going from the last time, and then when that game is over, your tank's done, and you can go back to playing that tank. So you can just constantly be playing nonstop.
You can just go from, okay, I died, and boom, back to the garage, grab another tank, go, and you can just make credits hand over fist. If you want to keep doing it.
And it is a very patient game because it is a lot of, the first 5 minutes of the game, you get all the guys that run out and die real quickly.
All the dudes.
So then it's the last 5 or 6 people or 2 or 3 people who know it's all about hiding and looking, hiding and looking, and that sometimes can take. I had a game that looked like, I think it went on for like 20 minutes, but I had already left and gone and played a couple of other ones.
Yeah, they're 15-minute matches.
But because it is a search and destroy type thing.
Yeah. They're 15-minute matches, and you can run all the way out, and when the time runs out, and if time runs out, that's the cool thing, is there's wins, loss, draw. So if the time runs out and you still have, 2 tanks, 1 on each side, nobody's capped, it's a draw. Which means basically it's a loss for both sides, which kind of sucks. If you both cap and you're so close that the timers are running at the same time, that's a draw. So, I mean, It's a lot of fun. I mean, no, I agree. That's a lot of fun, and I think I need to. In fact, I need to get back to playing that again because, but quite frankly, APB pissed me off. So.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I wish I would have got into it a little sooner because it is. But you know, my experience was just listening to my roommate just blah 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 blah, old roommate. And you know what? I'm glad I did because I'm actually having a lot of fun with it. I like how simple it is. It's such a relaxing thing. I'll throw in an audiobook and listen to it and just kind of drive around and blow shit up. And I love that I can run over trees and walls and cars
jump
and stuff.
off cliffs, drive
I wish
through
you could
lakes.
break into buildings, like smash buildings
Some of them
down.
you can. Some of them you can. The smaller buildings like shacks and whatnot you can.
Yeah.
Some of the larger buildings obviously you can't do anything to. I think they're working on changing the damage effects on some of the big concrete buildings because, to be quite frank, I mean quite honest, you hit even a concrete brick building with a 57 millimeter, it's gonna put a hole in it, But
yeah.
But
now I haven't noticed. I don't know if it's true or not. But is there splash damage? Because there's sometimes where I'm firing and I'm trying to.
There's certain weapons that apply certain types of shells that apply splash damage.
Yep.
They don't actually do direct damage. You basically fire a shell, and
it does heat damage, is what it is. It's a heat.
Oh,
it's a heat.
okay.
It's the heat.
I'm just mostly using the anti-tank.
Well,
ones.
anti-tank. You can put holes. There's two different types. There's armor piercing and there's heat. The armor piercing does exactly that. It'll punch through armor. Usually doesn't do a whole bunch of damage, but it'll punch through a certain thickness of armor. What those are good for is taking out components, taking out his engine, stopping his tracks. Detracking him, shopping his engine, busting his turret, blowing up his gas tank, killing the people inside. You do that, and it kind of fucks up the tank. I mean, if you track him, he's kind of dead in the water. If you de-engine him, he can't move. If you fuck up his turret, he can't turn. If you take out his driver, they can't drive. So there's certain things you can do. You hit their ammunition, it blows up. Hit the gas tank, it's on fire. That's what's great with the armor piercing. So it will do a lot of damage, but not necessarily stop the tank because you might have just gone right on through. The heat damage does heat, so that usually takes down the hit points faster. It might not stop the tank, but it'll drop the heat down. So like you're running artillery, you want to use heat more than you do the armor piercing, especially on larger tanks, because as you know with artillery, you're always going against shit that's 2 to 3 levels above you. So you're not going to do any damage. You just ping, barely scratched him. Ping, that didn't go through. Ping,
I hate that so much.
So that's where that's where you switch to the heat, and then when you do the heat, it'll say, it'll do damage on him, but he'll keep moving, but you're doing hit point damage. So that's the
I kind of like knocking them down so they can't move.
And
it's more frustrating.
Right. Well, the problem is though you got to be pretty tight with that. Like there's certain, and you can look online where they have hit boxes. It used to be where you could put your own skins on the tank, and only you would see them. So you could make your own camouflage and whatever. Well, people started making hitbox camouflage, and so that way when you download this and put it on there, it would mark the red and blue zones, the key areas on everybody's tank, and that was kind of unfair. So they stopped doing the private camo. But you can go online or even see and find where they have YouTube videos where they show where certain tanks have. Most tanks all have the same damage zones, but a few tanks have really specific areas. Like if from the front, most of the armor is in the front, right? That makes sense. But if you can hit the driver's window, that does a lot of damage because it's going straight into the guy's face. Obviously that's going to do some damage.
Yeah.
If you can hit their tracks,
we've lost our driver.
Right? No, he's got no head.
I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, we've lost our driver. Our navigator's down.
Yep. Radio man's gone. We can't signal any other tanks.
And I guess it also helps why I'm playing this. I've been still watching Doctor Who, going to the 3rd season finally, and loving that black chick. Oh, so much prettier than fucking Rose.
And she's cocky as hell too.
Oh, I love that shit. Just finished up the episode where the Doctor stuck himself in a watch. Thought that was pretty cool. But I'm really so that makes watching the Doctor Who and playing the World of Tanks and doing the Minecraft and all this stuff makes it just go so much faster, and it's just like pumping out those episodes. I still gotta say David Tennant's great. I'm just tired of him. I'm a little bored of him. And I almost stopped watching the show when Rose left and they had that redheaded chick on there. I thought that was going to be the new companion. I was like, well, I'm done because she's British boner killer.
Redheaded chick. You're talking about the actress that plays River Song.
I have no idea.
River?
She was.
River Song is later found out in the next. I'm pretty sure.
Don't spoil it for me.
Turn off your headphones.
Well, it's well into the series that's going on now that you'd find out about it.
Okay, well, find
she's
out.
actually a really cool part of the story. They brought her. They took a long time bringing her in full capacity, but once she's into the story, you kind of do have an appreciation for her because she's both an antagonist and a protagonist.
I still love the first guy, man. I thought he was just such a great doctor. I loved his attitude about things. David's not bad. It's just, I don't know. He's goofy, and it's the suit and the fucking Converts, and it's just whatever. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, I was looking on Wikipedia because I wanted to find out how long this guy was the fucking doctor for, and the next guy looks like somebody from the old '70s show with that curly hair and shit.
Oh yeah. And he's a blast though because he's very jovial and youthful as opposed to David Tennant's character that ends up playing very nihilistic and very protective, I guess you could say, because he's felt so much loss that it seems that this is where it's finally coming through all the Doctor's iterations to him, and he's just like, I don't want to get attached anymore.
Yeah, and I've decided once I'm done, I'm going to go back and watch all the originals because I just remember, just for the heck of it. Because I love the whole. Now that I've really kind of gotten into it, I actually was going to look for some audiobooks on it just to see. But I'm really just enjoying the show, and it's just such a great show. And it's one of those things. It's like I just fought against because it was that thing where it's like, oh, you got to watch it. I got to watch. And it was always just Doctor Who.
I have yet to watch an
Doctor
episode.
Who, I don't give a shit.
I haven't watched.
And now that I'm watching it,
I haven't watched an episode since I was like 6 on PBS. Man,
well, that's what I'm saying. That's what it was for me. Was I watched it with my dad, and that's what I wanted to remember. Was watching it with my dad. Yeah. And enjoying it then, and didn't want it to be ruined like I've ruined all these others. I went back and watched all these other movies as a kid. I was like, why was I scared of this movie? This is so fucking stupid. Yeah. You know?
See, you would think that, but, you know, Pseudo's still deathly afraid of the fucking Goonies. Not the Goonies, but the Gremlins.
The only reason I even watched any bit of Who as I got older, probably in my 20s or whatever, was the very last few minutes of the show or a few seconds of the show, because right after Doctor Who was Red Dwarf, and that's what I wanted to watch.
I tried getting into that. I could not get into that.
I fucking love Red Dwarf, man.
The comedy was too dry.
Oh, yeah. It was beautiful.
I'll tell you what I really liked was Lex. Did you ever watch Lex? It was
yes.
That was good.
No.
That shit was sick. And it was really an odd premise.
Could not get into
it was
Lex.
really weird. It was a weird show.
Yeah, I could not get into Lex.
So as of right now, I need to work on some video stuff for my work, and I've decided I'm going to try to find a ways I can make the Doctor Who intro for my work so it can spin up the product, but I want the fucking TARDIS spinning around in the background with my work products coming up. Like, oh, we have this on sale, but I just want that. I want the vortex with the TARDIS bouncing around, popping up my work stuff, and I thought that would be pretty great. Because they're like, we need you to do a video of something, Kevin. Can you do that for us? I'm like, yeah, I can do that.
We're gonna be seeing Kevin's
I might just try to make them all into one, so it's a big long loop of stuff. Because as it is right now, I have a video of it's a 6-hour. Okay, it's a 6-hour loop of some Kesha song that I was listening to. And it's one of those media player, you know, like the media player for Winamp. It has a little thing. Look, I had just got back from Washington and was really, really into this Kesha song and just decided to loop it for 6 hours. And it was a great song, and it was a great time.
Kevin, next time you take a trip to Washington, queue up either one of my audio surf videos or, yes.
I don't want to listen to dubstep.
Oh, fuck
it. Queue up one of my audio surf videos or the live stream that I did for what was it? Symphony.
I might stream the dubstep cat for 6 hours. That would be pretty funny. Or, you know, now there's Christian dubstep. I'm going to send that to you so you can start doing your...
no, it's not going to happen.
Dubstep.
No. Christian dubstep, I guarantee, is just as useless as Christian hardcore metal.
Christian metal, Christian rap.
Oh, no, there was, when I was... That's not rap, that's crap. That was the shit that Pseudo listened to, and that was terrible. Two
I
white
love
guys
this
and a
stuff.
black guy. They were horrible.
We're a white guy and we're a black guy, and we call ourselves Salt and Pepper because that's so original.
Yeah.
Wait,
Well, that killed it. So,
No, it's not them. Anyway, so that's pretty much my work. Just a little of this here and there, doing a little of everything. Like I said, mostly doing a lot of photo stuff lately. Been walking around and just trying to get a little better. I do want to. There's a camera I want to buy, but it's going to cost me like
$60 million.
well, the camera itself cost me $750. Plus the lens I want to get is going to cost me $110. And that's a Canon T4i, which will also work as a video camera, but. And yeah, well, these were the prices as of February 2nd. They've probably gone up more than that. But yeah, that's my goal, is to buy that.
Cool.
What are you doing, Dad? Close your fucking mouth. Don't
Trying to
even
catch
like
flies.
drop your jaw about me
Yeah,
spending
don't
money on
really.
stuff.
Exactly.
Mr.
How much have you
I'm
spent
gonna
on your computer in the last
$50 on
week?
2 fucking parts.
I'm
Video
gonna
Two
card,
fucking
spend
parts.
$400 on a fucking fan that comes in a fancy box with fancy foam.
No, that was
and
What the fuck are you talking about, you dumbass?
was a-
I
that
spent
was
like
power.
$150 on a
Power
power
unit.
supply.
Well,
I was
that's
talking about spending another $350 on a brand new motherboard and a processor.
no. I'm talking about your fan. Didn't your fan cost like $500, $600?
No, that was his.
Fuck no.
That was $150 for the shit that he was showing on episode 1 or 2 was for his
Power supply. And it cost me $1.50.
well,
$1.50.
It's nothing. That's nothing, man.
Yeah.
That's chump change.
I
talked to
That's
Vortex. Vortex spent $400 on his newest video card.
Vortex doesn't have a
Vortex
job.
lives with his mom
I
and
was gonna
dad
say.
and has no bills and goes to school.
It's probably that was
That's
probably
another thing, motherfucker. I'm almost bill free.
Technically,
That was-
he didn't buy it. His parents bought because Vortex doesn't
No.
have a job.
That was-
Yes, he does. He doesn't have a job, but he has money of his own.
yeah. It's called paying for
Wow.
tuition. He probably just paid for a semester's of tuition with that damn thing.
Yeah.
No, he
Instead of buying books,
he
I'm gonna
has
go
a
ahead and
settlement
buy-
from
Where did he-
childhood injury.
Oh.
He's using to buy most of it, and he does spend a lot of his time at the house, much like I do, on his computer, because there's nothing worth fucking doing in his area, just like my area.
He lives like in Illinois.
So
or
my
some
best
shit,
way to
huh?
communicate with people is over the interwebs, and the best
Vortex
way.
is a great guy.
Oh yeah, Vortex is awesome. It's
So if
funny.
you're watching on my channel, Vortex was one of my admins on the Minecraft server I ran.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
he's,
Vortex.
He's a cool guy.
Well, last week, and I'm hoping I'll bring him up on the show when they finally get here. It's supposed to take 3 weeks. I ordered my nephew's Chucks, dude. I'm so excited for him.
Yeah.
The Converse site has a section where you can do custom Chucks.
Oh, the Sith Talk shoes.
No, I ordered him his Dattokar shoes. He's a real big fan of DC Comics, specifically of Batman.
DC sucks.
And they had an Arkham Asylum version of the Chucks available. And what I did was I gave him a custom set. It has Joker on one shoe. It has Batman on the other.
They're gonna fight each
I did
other?
some custom colors for
He's gonna
him.
kick himself
And
in
then
the
down the back stripe, the heel stripe, I put his Dattokar label because that's the name he's been going by most as of late.
Awesome.
So we did his Dattokar label on the back stripe on it, and I ordered that for him.
He'll always be lone one to me.
I know, and
Dattokar.
I call him Lone in the house from time to time, just like he calls the wife Pseudo and me Dad.
I used to be Mayo forever, and I got tired of that, so it's now Lanyard.
Well, it's better than Brian.
Brian is tough, yeah. That's a tough one. It's hard to
He's
get.
not saying your name.
It's hard to get a name.
Not even chosen name.
It's hard to get. It's always going to end up. If you log into a game, it's always Brian1736345 because that many more people have already had that name.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're unique.
one of the things I did on my video, and this is kind of, I guess, plus minus. When I got
So I'm done with my week. That's about it.
Cool.
on the Advere Media, when I got the media card, they did give me a product code for 3 free months of premium XSplit, which I'll have to put in the code for.
Nice.
So, I mean, it was a plus. I mean, it was a $200 card that I'm barely figuring out how to use. But as I told my wife, hardware is a certain piece of hardware you can install, and it's really easy. But in other cases, it's like there's a steep learning curve for it.
Yeah.
And right now, that's what I'm encountering, and I'm trying to find the right combination. So when I do, open my stream up each day, it's me, or at least for a little while here, it's going to be me trying to figure out exactly what I can do with what I have. I don't want to invest the money in the 8-core processor or the motherboard that I need to run it with. But if I do, it's a sacrifice that I make to further my overall goal. My overall goal being, I'd like to be a full-time gamecaster. Just because I think that would be cool. Lanyard and I talked about it, and he's like, well, I'd have to make like $600 a day. And I was like, I could make $100 a day, and it would beat what I make in real money at a real job. Yeah. So if all I have to do all day is sit here, shoot the shit with people that are on the interwebs, and play video games for the rest of my life, I'd fucking love it. Oh, that's something. Speaking of amazing products, have you guys checked into the outcome of Google Glass as of late?
Nope.
No, I haven't.
Okay, so Google Glass is exactly what we were hoping from all of our sci-fi movies, where they had that one lens that went over the eye, and it basically recorded whatever they were doing in the early sci-fi shows. Mm-hmm. And Google Glass is actually a way to media capture and media review on the go.
So to be able to do that with the new PlayStation 4 is going to have that feature. When I guess too, with the new Xbox, they've got a deal with Twitch, so I guess you'll be able to stream via the new Xbox.
Yeah, but the Google Glasses you can walk around with, out in the outside and down the mall, and take pictures of everybody you look at.
Yeah, and
which a lot of privacy people have a problem with that.
But I would love to see something like Google Glass incorporated into a gaming platform. I told somebody the other day though that and I don't know how many Sliders fans there are in the world, but or still in the world, but that there was an episode of Sliders where people were basically wearing gigantic VR helmets, and this would replace that. But you basically have the idea that you were in a room painting your masterpiece while you were painting the side of a brick wall gray, or you were walking around sweeping the floor and you were taking down demons or something retarded, something different like that.
Sounds like you were
the Google Glasses reminded me of that Millennium, or that movie, that 2000 movie where they had where you could put stuff, like they would wear like things on their head, and then you would review it through their you could feel and see everything that they saw through their eyes. You remember what I'm talking about?
There's been a couple movies that have incorporated things like that.
It's like it's a futuristic movie, whatever, but it's kind of like a Johnny Mnemonic? I can't remember, but anyways,
Mnemonic?
That's what the Google goggles remind me of when I saw that video of that guy walking around.
Well, and it's really cool in the idea that if they could bring that to gaming, I kept telling a buddy of mine that if you could connect with other friends, the first game, and God help me, that I'd want to see something like that on is like a Pokemon game. How much more cool would it be? Yeah, fuck you, Lanyard. You're walking around and you go, I choose blah blah blah, and in your Google Lens, you see the Pokemon come up and you watch the battle between the two of you. It allows people to interact out in the open in a gaming environment at the same time, which I think would be really awesome for gamers.
Until they implement BF3 or something like that.
Well, yeah, but
guys walking around with a shotgun.
A guy like this all the time, like in the movie, in the TV show Gamer, they are in a movie Gamer, where the kids are literally in a 3D capture environment, moving around as if they are the character, are the actor.
Yeah, and in the meantime, in the real world, people are actually dying.
Right.
Because people are drones.
A Twilight Zone episode like that too, where this team was sent back to find the last two. Or sent into the future to save the last two kids in the world, because they're actually involved in an online mech battle, and they're in two different cities across in the same area, and they're about to actually take out their real life target. They're not fighting against the mech anymore. It's just two kids controlling these two drones.
Find out.
I always think to myself,
find out the kids are like super obnoxious brats, and you just say fuck it and go back.
I can definitely see that. But there's a lot of
destroy each other.
I watch so much I watch so much on History Channel and Discovery, and it's really interesting to see how a lot of the inventions that we are getting now are just emulations of what we saw growing up.
Yeah. Well, That's just it. Sci-fi. There was a whole thing on one of the forums about technology and sci-fi, and basically the question was the chicken or the egg thing, and they kept saying the question was, does technology influence sci-fi, or does sci-fi influence our technology? In other words, if there hadn't been Star Trek, would we have cell phones? If there hadn't been, whatever, would we have such and such? So it was great because every person that was on there that was like scientific nut job people, basically confirmed the fact that sci-fi influences our technology, because the movies and shows that come out with these bizarre sci-fi type ideas, then the scientists go, I think we can make that. Especially Star Trek. Now it's becoming to the point now where sci-fi movies come out, and they've made it to where they're kind of blending what really could be done and what hasn't been done, and so now it's even getting more along the lines as to where things can come out. Like, one of the things I first thought of when I watched that horrible remake of Total Recall was they had the phone that was under your palm of your hand. It was a cell phone, basically inside your hand. So you'd always have your. Well, one thing is I left my phone at home. So it's always there, which is great. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. His hand lights up. But then when he cut his hand to take the stuff out, you could slow that down and you look at the technology that's in this movie and you go, dude, that could work. It really would work. And you're like, I bet.
Well,
so I can guarantee there's some asshole going, I bet we could. It's probably at fucking Verizon or AT&T working on it right now. There's a whole bunch of poor saps, interns and shit walking around with technology shoved under their skin, infesting and stuff. But how's it working? I can't feel my fingers. It's doing good. It's doing good. Let it. That's how that's what I think technology. That's my rant on that.
Well, the only thing that I had an issue with is they show that technology as being under the skin, and I'm sure there's a way to, in their minds, put a implant that would replicate itself so that it would build that technology into your skin. But that sounds like a really fucking ridiculous way to install a phone in your own hand. You really gotta be fucking wanting to
surgically install a phone into your hand. Yeah, you would have to be. Well, the problem was that there was no text messaging. You could have the speaker, you could have the mic, and you could have the buttons, and with LEDs, as bright as they are and as small as they are now, they would actually light up under your hand and it would show, right? And I could see you just putting your hand up here. The problem
having
is
Logan's Run sooner or later.
The problem is where they exactly pick up your the problem they had where the technology went from plausible to not likely was when they would just put their hand on glass, and I'm blocking my face, put their hand on glass, and then the screen printed out here, and then they could do that. That went from plausible to a little more work, because it would have to project into the glass, and that's how they would do text, and that's how they did video.
But a lot of the streaming advertisements went through the glass in that game too.
Right. See, and then you've got movies that have got technology that we won't see for years or decades, millennia, but yet the movie was based pretty much in the near future, and that's Iron Man. Okay,
but a lot of that stuff's coming now.
Iron Man's suit, possible. Could see it putting together, not being thrown on the body like it does in the movie, but I could see it being a bodysuit that would do some things that would do. However, what I was talking about beyond reality is and maybe I'm wrong, but there's probably scientists that would ever watch the show that are going, you're fucking wrong, but is his 3D computer imaging that would just float in space. That's just that it can't be done. Even in Star Trek, where they had the holograph rooms, right? you've got the walls that could project your pictures, but having an actual hologram in front of you where you can have some type of textural feel, you couldn't do it. I mean, because the photons have got to land on something. If there's nothing there for the, and that's where he would, oh well, it's held up by force fields. Well, force fields, you can't have a force field, you know. So it's like, yeah, there's some things.
I don't know. I've been married for almost 20 years. Trust me, force fields exist.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, there's a lot of, I mean, the Google Glass idea is just really cool, and it speaks to a couple of different areas that would be helpful. Nothing would be more amazing than being able to feed in live information for, say, a doctor while doing surgery, as opposed to having to rely on looking at a couple of machines or having someone correlate or tell the doctor what the machine's reading.
He's reading it on. Hold on, I'm watching YouTube. How do I do
surgery?
Yeah.
Or, depending on what they could work into the technology.
Yeah.
I just, I don't know. I look at that stuff and I think, well, this would be awesome for gaming, but it has so many other real-world implications.
As a truck driver, it'd be great, too, because I could put that sucker on, I'd be driving down the road, and it would be recording all the fucking morons that are trying to cut me off, so that way if I get in an accident, I'd be like, sir, here's what happened.
Yeah, they sell those. Those are called dash cams.
Well, I know. I can actually buy them at the truck stop. But the problem...
How do you think we got all of our meteor satellite photos that happen, all the Russian dash cams?
The problem with the dash cam is it only shows what's in front of the truck. If it were it on my head, you can see me checking my mirrors. You can see my speed. I mean...
You can buy a helmet cam.
I'm not going to wear a helmet while driving.
Well, you could buy like one of those minor things where you just put it on your head. Then you can see that when you look through that way. I had a Tony Hawk skateboard thing that I paid $100 for that attached right here.
I remember that shit. I don't know, man. I just want to get my live stream shit working because it's pissing me off, and I want to be able to quality live stream, and I'm hoping I can work out the nuts and bolts of that. I was actually watching Skype to see if any of our old stream or recording buddies from TGN were on so that I could talk to one of them. I've tried to check out a couple of streams, but it seems like the streaming community is a lot like when we got into podcasting, Kev. They have the technology and they don't wish to share how they got to where they are. They only care to keep on doing what they're doing.
Don't want competition.
And I understand, when I sold cars, the guys who made thousands of dollars didn't want to help the scrubs that were making $100 a week.
Yeah,
so I do understand that. But being that we are an internet community, I think that it is dependent on the idea that we're supporting of each other.
Yeah.
That's why when someone who has a podcast messages me on Twitter, I add them, I keep up with their stuff, I repost if I like. The people on Reddit on the podcast page, I go and I check out their podcast just like I asked them to go and check out our podcast because you and me both know you might record a podcast, but there's like 9 other ones you're going to listen to.
Thousands of podcasts.
Yeah, and I've got coworkers who, while aren't always interested in the games I play, they've actually subscribed to my stream just so if there's a game that I'm playing that they're interested in, they can go and check out my video on Twitch. And that's the big thing is Twitch basically ends up being a nonstop online resource for the videos I upload. And I can always download them to my PC, edit them, and then throw them back up on YouTube if I decide to at another point.
Yeah.
So that's why live streaming for me is so important. And, it is my dream to be on radio. Video, not necessarily, but radio definitely.
Man, radio is stupid. If you think about all the restrictions that...
Radio.
I know that, but I would rather deal with radio than doing online stuff. The restrictions they put on you, all the other bullshit that goes along with doing stuff on radio, it just would not work out for...
Well, hey, man, don't say that because fucking Howard was on radio and that motherfucker's made it infinitely big. Not that I have the need nor want to live cast someone puking on a porn star's chest or something.
Yeah, but look where he's at now. He had to go on to more what he wanted to do. He had to go to video, to satellite. And the one problem I have with podcasting lately is that so many celebrities are getting involved with it now that it's almost kind of like, oh, you do a podcast too, huh? Like, yeah, I'm up there with everybody else.
Yeah, well, hey, man, we've got Sith Talk is we're bi-weekly on that right now, and we're seeing 2,000 downloads in between shows. We're just starting out with Name in Progress, and Name in Progress is seeing 100 downloads a week, which is slightly ahead of what we were doing on Sith Talk when we first started that out. And even our your videos or our videos on your stream are seeing around 100, 200 views. And I don't do it because I expect to get paid by views. And I get it. I do what I do. We've encouraged each other to continue doing these things based on the idea of just sharing our experiences and being able to shoot the shit with people, because there are people out there like us who they get into these certain games and some people are like, oh, this is the most amazing game ever, or they can't understand why a game actually ends up being better even though at face value it looks like shit. Because if I watched a video on World of Tanks, I would have been bored shitless. But once I got in and started playing, it was a completely different thing. There's a lot of people who are still like, Star Wars looks like an okay game, but I don't know. And they don't want to, even though it's free to play, even being free, they don't want to try it out because they're like, I'm going to download a 25 gig game just to find out it's shit.
Mostly they want to avoid the free to play because they know about what they've heard about, or they at least know about all the fucking restrictions.
Yeah,
I mean, there's nothing.
As I'm playing.
In fact, do you know that when this expansion comes out, the 2.0 or whatever the hell it is, and we can go up to 55? Did you know that free to players can't? They can only go to 50. I mean,
but it's only $10 to upgrade to the next level.
It doesn't matter.
It's
the fucking.
It's a microtransaction.
Like I said, how long is it until you're only allowed to breathe on a ship for an hour?
There are too many goddamn restrictions on the SWTOR. For free to players. There just really is. It is not a true microtransaction game. Microtransaction free to play game means I can play the game at unlimited play the game, except for the microtransactions are free shit, stupid shit, fancy clothes, a better lightsaber, maybe I can do, I can get a gun that lasts 10 minutes. That's what or a fancy car, or a fancy mount, or a fancy pet, or a fancy disco ball. That's microtransactions. But microtransactions to play the game, that's uber greed. Javeth has moved on. They just, I've seen a couple other tweets from BioWare saying, so-and-so's last day, so-and-so's last day. I tweeted him back and said, so what are you guys down to? The fucking janitor and the social media guy? What the hell? You went free to play, and then you microtransaction the fuck out of everybody for anybody that wants to try the game out, and no wonder you're failing. The game is amazing. It's unfortunate that they have shitty fucking management. I'm sorry. I know I do the show, but I've got to, in order for me to enjoy the game, I'm going to have to subscribe.
But here's the thing: if BioWare or any other game was just like every other business, we wouldn't hear about this shit every day. How many jobs? In the course of your life at your business, how many times have people come and gone? I work at a Walmart. People fucking leave 10 a week. Easy.
People come and go all the time. I understand that. Okay,
right. But
the problem is they're not replacing anybody. They're not replacing them.
They don't ever say. How are you going to say they don't replace people? They replace people when most of the last group left. Almost every person that left, they left because when they did the downsizing of the company, they never hired people back after that. But they never tell us who takes a place until the person has a chance to become a part of the community. Even Jovis was on the back burner until right before the original CEO left BioWare. Yep. When the guys who actually developed BioWare from the bricks, the bricks and mortar guys.
When the boss quits, there's a problem.
Boss quits, he's made enough money, he's moving on to something else.
Yeah.
Okay. Trust me, if at any point in time I own a business and I have enough money to step away and be like, I'm good. You give a fuck.
Or you can be like, what's his face, Jobs, where he said, I need to step down, let somebody else take control. They took control, and he said, you're fucking it up, and he came back, and then he died. But
right.
So they fired him. They
fired him. That's right. They fired his ass.
Yeah, and then they hired him.
Never let your control get out of your control. What do you mean? What do you mean? I don't have 90% of this company.
Own more shares.
That's right.
That's the key.
That's right.
But I
just hate the way they implemented the free to play. I really do. I think it's complete.
I'm not happy
bullshit
with the free to play. I won't say that I'm happy with it. Okay, but it's not impeding my gameplay as of yet. You know, I'm going in, 6? I'm doing my missions, I'm getting in groups, I'm meeting new people, I'm adding friends to my friends list, and I'm not noticing anything missing. I got done with all of Korriban on a sorcerer that I'm using. I'm only playing when I live stream on Twitch 4 hours a night on Sundays, and that's it. I'm not playing it any other time. I'm trying to set up so that I can live stream my paid account when I play on my 50s and my characters that way. Yeah. But I'm not really, I'm not concerned about anything that has to do with microtransactions. I haven't even bought anything, or I haven't bought any coins since the last time I did, even though I wanted that pod racer.
I do want that.
Because I was like, I'm just done buying coins.
Even when I decide to get my subscription back, I'm buying that fucking pod racer. The fucking pod racer is cool. But see, I can handle that. I'm fine with buying a pod racer for a subscription. I'm fine with buying the fancy clothes for a subscription, for pets, for disco balls, for shit that only lasts, whatever. It's the you want to run faster? Oh well, give us $10 and you can run faster. You want to
use the waypoints?
Yep, give us $10 and you can use the waypoints. Oh, you want to res? You want to give us $5 and we can let you res. It's
resing in place.
It's still.
I mean, how many years did we spend in World of Warcraft where we always had to run?
It doesn't matter. It's part of the game. Always. You fucking let them play the game. Let them play the game. Let them play the game. Microtransaction the fuck out of them with clothes and toys and boo-boo stuff.
Well, that's just it. Free-to-players aren't buying that boo-boo stuff
because it's fucking ridiculously priced. It's crazy. Exactly. Pay-to-players are buying it because they're that's how they the free-to-players. They start adding it up and they're like, shit, man, I might as well just subscribe. Yeah, I mean, I understand that's their point. Is they I don't know. I guess it's like I understand they made it so prohibitive to play free to play that they're suggesting that you should just probably pay for the damn thing.
Well, it's even like when you're saying in some of the quests, if you were a paid player,
you'd get this.
You would get this.
You would get this
but
prize.
Since you're not, you get this.
Sorry, you get dick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I do understand. It's just that for me, live streaming it and playing it, I'm not seeing any degradation in my gameplay.
Well, no. I mean, you're just doing storyline.
And as of yet, like not being able to run isn't prohibitive to me. I can still get from point A to point B. It costs me a couple of minutes. While I'm leveling up to getting up to 10, I'm getting free fucking bonus XP points, through mission rewards. I'm still getting the money. I've got like 3,000 on a character that's level fucking 10. She hasn't left the fucking planet yet.
Don't get more than 360.
And there are people that, yes, I'm sure are pissed off about it. I'm not. Obviously, I've got 2 accounts, so I'm far from pissed off about it. If I do get this live stream card thing worked out and I do start streaming at a quality I'm happy with, I may even open up a Mr. Pandaria. I may reopen my WoW account just so I have a WoW day. Because what I told my nephew is I want to get in a setup where for me streaming isn't about playing the big name games all the time, but I want to have a couple of days a week set aside for MMOs so that I open up my eyes to to a little this and that. I'm able to play first-person shooters, but I'd like to have Indie Thursdays and Indie Tuesdays, shit like that, where I go and I play these other games that are very indie-based, whether it's something like Spectra Ball or it's something like Rock of Ages or God help me ZZZ or drop that beat like I kicked the baby, or hold on, let me find that name because that name's ridiculous. Hold on. There it is. 1, 2, 3, kick it, drop that beat like an ugly baby. That's the one. And it's literally falling through the fucking sky. I'll have to use it for one of my 30 days videos because it's so ridiculous. It's gravity based, and you're falling through, catching points and shit, jumping through rings and ridiculousness. But I want to be able to stream. I want to be able to stream my way. A lot of people, they get in and it's 8 hours a day or 10 hours a day of nothing but LOL or nothing but World of Warcraft or nothing but BF3. And I'm not that kind of guy. I can't latch on to one game nonstop. I get burnt the fuck out. My nephew's been playing what the fuck is that game? He's probably logged in now. Let me check my list. Yeah, he is. Elder Scrolls Skyrim. He just bought another download.
Yeah,
he's actually gotten to the point where he's he's doing something equivalent to live streaming, sort of. Him and a buddy him and a couple of buddies will load up the exact same game at the same time, and they will play through the same sections of the game for the same amount of time. You know, and I want people to be able to check that out. Hey, speaking of our SWTOR buddies, Brutus is currently playing Rome Total War.
I don't have Brutus. Wait, Brutus is Sergeant so-and-so, right?
No, he's Brutus.
Oh, I don't have Brutus. Fucker! Yeah. Brutus, add me to Steam, you bitch. I got caught on it.
But, you know, I mean, while, yes, I do think the way that free-to-play was implemented in that game is kind of at best, I don't see a detriment to my gameplay, and I've been having a lot of fun. And you know, I created the character, and Kevin, you'll enjoy this because I had to re-up an old name.
Yeah.
I was trying to make a lightning sword on the Jedi Covenant server, and what I ended up doing was having to use the OBGY dead name. Which is good, because I'm going to be playing her as evil, so by the time I get done playing that character at 50, she'll look dead anyway.
Was Savan a goblin originally? Wasn't?
No, she started out as a blood elf.
Yeah, I thought she was a blood elf, and when I was over at your house, I saw it was Savan was a goblin. I was like, I don't remember him being a goblin.
I changed to goblin as soon as they allowed it. I love the goblins. I think they're great.
He and I did the same thing with our mages.
Goblins rock.
When they launched the goblins, I paid to play. I paid for Bomb Girl to get race changed to a goblin. Kevin saw it. He's like, "Yep, goblin. Definitely making a goblin."
Yeah. I was gonna do that with Mayo, but I just couldn't lose my undead guy. I was just so I was so into my undead guy, so I went ahead and made another. Goblin. I made two actually.
Well,
I made
didn't you change your hunter, Kevin?
I changed my hunter 3 times.
My hunter has started out. Well, first of all, my hunter was a dwarf when it was started, banned. Then I deleted him because I was so pissed off at WoW that I knew that I had to stop playing this fucking game.
Yeah.
So I broke all my
discs. Times.
Yes. Well, no, this was my most extreme because I was doing the Whitesword TV pretty much full time at the time. I had to break all my discs because I had come back from Vegas and literally took me 2 months to upload all my Vegas and edit my Vegas because I was so sucked up into playing WoW. I had to break all my discs, delete my characters, give away all my gold, and it's like, no more.
Check his website. He's got his video that he did that. That's it, guys. I'm fucking he had video of him writing delete.
So and then I changed it. Then when I got him back, I turned him into a fucking everything. He's been every class, every fucking thing you can think of.
Everything.
I try not to look at that video or the webpage on Blizzard's thing that says all the money you spend because it just infuriates me.
Yeah, I changed my hunter. He was originally he was a dwarf. And then I changed over to the Horde side and made him a fucking Tauren, and that's where I changed him over at like 20 or something, like right when you first could allow to do it. And I changed him over to a Tauren, and I was like, that's it, he's Tauren forever, Yukon Jack, he's my man. And I leveled him all the way to 80 as a Tauren. I loved getting into fucking raids and standing in front of everybody. I can't see, you know. And I mean, it was great. And then, of course, all my friends fucking stopped playing or they whatever. And then I found a group of friends that was on a different fucking server. So I had to change him over. Well, they're Alliance, so he's back to a dwarf. And then, of course, somebody already had my name, so I had to change his fucking name. So I think the last I played with him, his name is now Heffenweisen. And that was the last I switched him over. And then I'd log on, and they were never there. You know, I was like, fuck it, I'm not playing.
Yeah, my hunter now is a fucking werewolf.
A worgen, yeah.
A worgen, yeah, which I think is great.
Worgens are cool.
For hunters.
Worgens are awesome.
Well, see, and he had originally said that he wanted to, when they said they were going to do undead hunters, he was like, "Oh hell yeah, I'm gonna be an undead hunter, and I'm gonna get a fucking spider pet. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Just can't wait. I'm gonna be undead. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna be killing shit, and then I'm gonna eat the humans, and then my pet's gonna eat the animals. This is gonna be fucking awesome." I loved doing that shit. And then it never happened.
I love doing that shit in PvP with my fucking undead. I'd kill somebody, then I'd fucking eat him. I love doing that. That was like one of the best fucking emotes they ever had. That was awesome. Awesome, man. God, I remember. I miss the good old WoW days. Too bad they changed it, but But
well, like I said, I with the idea of live streaming all the time, I really am thinking about getting back into it.
Badmouth it.
I saw you waving your hand, but for some odd reason you seem to cut out when I'm talking.
Sorry. I would tell him. Kevin was shaking his head. I was going to tell him I'm not going to badmouth it.
No, it's what I told my wife. Oh well, what my idea was for the live streaming of WoW is somewhat similar to what I'm doing with the sword.
Free to play
is create a character specifically for the stream, so that people can go through and enjoy the world with me as I'm going through it. So I'm not all in there, and I'm not trying to go back to a character I've already played. I'm going into a new character.
Doesn't WoW have the free to play? Don't they have a free to
for like level 20 levels?
1 through 20, yeah. And I think you have to download a different client though, don't you? Isn't it a free to play client? Oh, okay.
It's the same client.
Okay.
You just have to register a different email.
Yeah.
No, you can go into your you can go into your main account and select the free to play.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I have any slots left on my main account.
I don't want to spend the 15 hours.
No. And I'm talking about you log into the
Battle.net.
Yeah, your Battle.net page.
Oh, right. I've did that once. I'll have to do that. Well, I just don't want to download the 15 fucking hours worth of damn updates.
Yeah. That's why you do it when you go to bed.
Yeah.
For a week.
Well, depending on your quality.
Well, it would probably. Well, I've got up to Cataclysm, so I mean, I would only have to install the only thing that would update would be from whatever the initial Cataclysm install.
Yeah.
Just throw your disk in there, and then from that point on, it'll install everything else.
Right.
Well, I've done it both ways, and I honestly think that just downloading it straight from the
is a little better. I find it to do it that way easier too sometimes.
Because if you put in the disk, it's got like the 0.0 version of it.
Right, and then a lot of the stuff is being removed before it's lapped over.
True, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm always looking. I always want to when I start to do a stream, I keep thinking to myself, I want to start a game fresh. Like when I did the Cogs video for the 30 days, I went to the first puzzle that was there because I hadn't played Cogs in so long. I wanted to show people what it was like when you first got into the game.
And then I think
that's a lot of what it is.
You whipped through those puzzles so fast, it was like a 3-minute video. Okay, so this is it. Done. Shit. Done. Okay, well that was it.
Yeah, if the audio quality wasn't so bad on the puzzle dimension, you would have probably heard me freaking out a whole hell of a lot more. And towards the end, for some odd reason, my entire system started freaking out, and it was going every direction but right. I actually am thinking, and I've got to get with Bort's brother on the one idea I have. I'm thinking about turning some of my extra RAM into a RAM disk.
Yeah.
Because at no point is my computer ever using more than 30% of the RAM that I have. So out of the 16 gigs of RAM I have, I'm never going above 8, no matter what game or what I'm running, or what I'm running with my big-ass games. So I may end up turning that into a RAM disk for usage on some of my other games to allow for quicker load times.
I was also told that if you get a solid state, and you run your games off the solid state, that will create a smoother game, and then you use something like the game thing that turns everything off. If you just turn everything off after you start up your game, and as long as your game doesn't require Windows to be running, you just basically shut your entire computer off, turn your computer into a console, and it just runs the game straight off of the SSD. And then I've heard that runs well. Now, as far as streaming, you would still have to have some Windows programs because streaming requires some Windows programs to be turned on. So you'd have to figure out what you can and can't turn off. I can't use the game thing that I can't remember what it's called now, but
Game Booster.
Game Booster. I can't use Game Booster because it freaks out my video production stuff. It shuts off something and says, "Oh, well, we don't need this," and then it deletes it, and then my damn video production stuff doesn't work anymore, which is why I was having problems with Avid. So I can't use Game Booster because it fucks up my video production stuff. But I have another program called TuneUp that I can go through and turn off selective stuff, and then if it fucks up my Avid, I go back and turn shit back on. So
yeah.
But you could look into doing something like that too, because an SSD, you can get an SSD 500 or 300 for fairly inexpensive, and just use it as an external.
Yeah. Well, I was talking. I've checked a few dozen forums, and I do mean a few dozen forums. And RAM disk still outcompetes as far as what's the fastest way to do it. So it doesn't, you know, I would say to do it that way, but the SSD doesn't supply the same throughput as you get when working with something like a RAM disk.
Because it's straight to the motherboard, I guess, but
right,
rather than going through USB or some type of core SATA SATA. So I can understand that, yeah.
So I'm hoping that when that does happen, you know, when I get with him, that'll finish out my problems. You know, I'd like to say that will. I don't know that it will for sure. I am, however, looking at buying another hard drive just because I'm almost eaten all of mine.
Yeah, I've got 2 terabytes run up on video.
So I've got to get I got to get one to run RAID 0 to be able to have extra storage. I did find out that, and this was kind of cool. I'm going to disconnect this here. There we go. All right, I have an external hard drive, which is interesting because this one is external, but if you know, you can kind of see here, there's actually a SATA and a PCI port right here at the ass end of it.
You can actually insert.
So I'm thinking if I can size up the cables, I might just slide them straight in here, and I could actually use this terabit backup drive I have to utilize it for an actual storage drive
solid state,
on
or is that solid state?
an internal component as opposed to an external component, which is what it is now. And I can go and buy another terabit hard drive off the shelf for like $100 and use that for external storage.
Cool. Well, guys, it's getting close to that time. So you got what are you doing this upcoming week other than doing what are you doing this upcoming week, Dat?
I've got several more videos to post for my 30 Days of Games. What games? I don't know. You'll have to check out my YouTube channel or subscribe to my Twitter feed to find out. Definitely have a ass ton of live streaming to attempt to do, along with my normal gaming schedule of everything and every day. I'm really hoping that sometime here soon I can get on a proper schedule. I have talked to a few people that do view my stream, and they say that I record at the fucking weirdest of times. And
you record great for European people to pick up.
Yeah, yep. So all you UK people, tune in about tea time. And
oddly enough, I do have a lot of UK viewers.
Weird.
Well, they're all awake while everybody else is asleep.
Kevin,
catching me before they go to work.
Kevin, what you got coming up this week?
I'm gonna be working on some editing some of my older videos for my other channel, Whitesword TV, because I want to finish putting out the rest of the Whitesword TV and the Fat Man, the older versions of the Fat Man on Bike, on my separate channel that I'm sticking all that stuff on, just because just want to separate the two from them and move the Fat Man on Bike and the Whitesword TV to its own separate channel. Just because I want to go through and re-edit out all the old music, because I actually can't make any money off those videos right now because it all has all copyright stuff. So basically that's what I've been doing this week, or going to be doing this weekend, is that, and probably going out to take some more pictures this weekend, see what I do with that. I don't know. But you can check all that over on whatever I post on my Tumblr at or whitesword.tumblr whatever.com.
Cool.
That shit is, I don't know. I just tumble shit for my phone.
Cool. And this week I'm going to be working on. I'm probably going to play some tanks because I missed out on playing tanks this week. But I think I'm going to break my Blizzard ban and actually do a free play count just to see if I can maybe catch some of that old Blizzard WoW feel. I don't think I'm not gonna pay for it. I'm gonna go ahead and do a free to play. Of course, it's gonna take me about 3.5 hours to download all the add-ons that I need in order to play. But
just do it like me, man. Straight up vanilla.
Straight up
do
vanilla
it. That's
UI.
how I play it.
I can't do the vanilla UI.
So many things that you had, and with the exception of UI adjustments, so many things that we thought we needed, or at one point we did actually have to have the mods for.
I understand.
We don't anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I don't need anymore. There are.
But you saw my screen. There was nothing.
There are a few minor things that I need in order to play WoW. Yes.
Well, you have all the extra keyboard type stuff, so you probably need mods for that, right?
I'll have to get Xpearl, I'm gonna have to get X Pearl. I cannot play.
Default.
Gotta run X Pearl. I gotta have to run Bod Bag.
Nope.
I have to get Carbonite because I cannot stand the new or the old WoW map. Well, I will only be doing a free to play, so I won't need to get the Auctionator because I won't worry about the auction house. But I'll have to get Bod Bag. I have to get, what was that one that I used to? What's that one that I used to move to make my own UI? What was that? Do you guys? I know you don't have.
Dude.
I just use default.
Yeah, but there was always one that everybody fucking used, and it worked out great because it was beautifully built. It was designed really well. I mean, I know there was Magosaurus or something like that put a circle on it. I tried that for a while, and that sucked. But it's one that you could actually make your own. You could take the hotkeys and make a long hotkey. You could make them square. You could move them all
you're
over
talking
the place.
about. I know what you're talking about.
I don't remember what it was called, but I'll have to get that. I'll have to get the Carbonite. I gotta get X Pearl, and I'll have to get Bod Bag because I can't stand having 15 bags open at once.
Oh, I know. I use Baggins.
Baggins. I liked Baggins. The only thing, the last time I used it, it was a little clunky, and it kept trying to sort my bag, and I hated that. So
yeah.
it would always put in different things. I just like Bod Bag because it's simple. It's basically it just takes and makes the WoW 15 the different WoW bags and puts it into one window like in SWTOR.
Yeah, that's what Bag does.
Oh, does it? So anyway, so those are the ones I'm gonna have. That's what I'm gonna do this week, guys. We gotta get out of here. We will see you next week. Final words.
Yeah, I've got live streams to do. So.
And we're out.
See you. I gotta go. I'll be back. Watching Whitesword TV.